Picture this. You're in your mid-40s, holding a PhD, working 60-hour weeks at a job you secretly resent, watching your savings account grow at a glacial pace while your dreams collect dust. You did everything right, studied hard, climbed the ladder, saved aggressively, avoided risky financial moves. Yet, here you are, one layoff away from panic, wondering where it all went wrong. That was my story. And if you're listening to this, there's a good chance it's yours too. I'm Lay, and today we're going to talk about why the career advice your parents gave you is keeping you broke, and more importantly, what you can do about it. This episode is based on Daniel Priestley's Entrepreneur Revolution, a book that didn't just challenge my assumptions, it demolished them. Here's what nobody tells you. According to recent studies, 90% of startups fail, but here's the real gut punch. 90% of people following the safe industrial playbook are failing too. They're just failing more slowly, more quietly, with a 401k and a LinkedIn profile to show for it. The world changed, the rules didn't, and most of us are still playing a game that ended decades ago. So let's start with the most fundamental question. Why is traditional career advice so dangerous? I grew up marinated in this industrial age gospel. Work hard and you'll succeed. Climb the corporate ladder step by step. Get that degree and you'll be set for life. Jobs aren't supposed to be fun. That's why they call it work. Live below your means, avoid risk, and save for a retirement you might not even live to enjoy. These weren't just suggestions in my household. They were commandments carved in stone, passed down through generations like family heirlooms. And like a good student, I followed them religiously. The result? Decades of anxiety disguised as stability. A career that feels like a slow-motion surrender. But here's what I discovered. The education system wasn't designed to make you successful. It was designed to make you compliant. Schools are industrial revolution factories, churning out what Priestley calls component labor. Interchangeable workers who fit neatly into someone else's machine. Think about it. Sit in rows, follow instructions, don't question authority, memorize answers someone else already figured out, compete for grades, never collaborate too closely because that's cheating. Does this sound like training for entrepreneurship? Or training for a world where your value is your ability to do what you're told? Now, Priestley introduces this fascinating framework that completely changed how I see success. He says there are 3 parts of your brain that determine your outcomes. The reptile brain, the autopilot brain, and the entrepreneur brain. Your reptile brain is pure survival mode. Fight, flight, freeze. It sees the world as dangerous, resources as scarce, and anything unfamiliar as a threat. When this part runs the show, you make fear-based decisions. Passive income schemes, retirement fantasies, multiple streams of income to spread that risk everywhere, financial freedom that's really just freedom from money because handling it stresses you out. Sound familiar? I've fallen for every single one of these. I once spent $2,000 on a passive income course that promised wealth while I slept. Spoiler alert. The only person making passive income was the guy who sold me the course. The reptile brain keeps you stuck because it equates safety with survival. But what felt safe in 1950, stable job, pension, gold watch, is now a death sentence. Companies downsize, pensions evaporate. That safe corporate job, it's about as secure as a house built on quicksand. Then there's your autopilot brain. This is the part that loves repetitive tasks and familiar patterns. Same commute, same meetings, same lunch, same complaints about the same boss. I see this everywhere. Just last week, I chatted with a woman at my local grocery store who beamed with pride. I've been a cashier here for 32 years. There's nothing wrong with loyalty, but her pride wasn't about the work. It was about the familiarity. She'd found her groove and settled into it. 32 years of scanning barcodes, making small talk, going home, rinse, repeat. The autopilot brain wants passive income because it dreams of setting up a system so reliable you never have to think again. But entrepreneurship isn't about autopilot. It's about constant adaptation. Which brings us to the third brain, the entrepreneur brain. This is the part that sees opportunity where others see chaos. It empathizes, strategizes, and creates value for others. It's not about working harder, it's about working differently. Here's the problem. Modern society is designed to keep this part of your brain dormant. When was the last time you had hours of uninterrupted thinking time? No phone, no emails, no Netflix, no news? We've outsourced our attention to algorithms designed to keep us consuming, not creating. Every spiritual tradition, meditation, fasting, silence, solitude is essentially about quieting the reptile and autopilot brains so the entrepreneur brain can emerge. But we've built a world that feeds those lower brains with endless stimulation and manufactured emergencies. So, what's the alternative? Well, we're living through what Priestley calls the entrepreneur revolution. And this is where things get exciting. We're witnessing a revolution as significant as the shift from agriculture to industry. Except this time, the winners won't be the ones with the biggest factories. They'll be the ones with the best ideas, executed with small, passionate teams. Think about this. A global small business, or a GSB, isn't limited by geography. It's a lean operation, often under 50 people, that reaches clients globally through digital channels, operates from anywhere because it's cloud-based and remote-first, focuses on a specific micro-niche rather than competing on geography, and makes millions in revenue with a tiny team by leveraging technology. I've seen this model work brilliantly. A former grad school colleague now runs an online platform teaching advanced microscopy techniques to researchers worldwide. His team, 3 people. Himself, a video editor and a customer success manager. His students, over 2,000 paying subscribers across 40 countries. Revenue, comfortable 6 figures annually with minimal overhead. Compare that to the university where he used to work. Hundreds of faculty, massive infrastructure, millions in operating costs. Yet his tiny operation is more profitable per person, more responsive to customer needs, and infinitely more enjoyable to run. But here's the catch. This window won't stay open forever. There's a massive divide opening between those who embrace the entrepreneur revolution and those clinging to industrial age thinking. And the gap between these two groups will only widen. So what do you actually do about this? Well, Priestley offers 10 challenges designed to break you free from industrial thinking. Let me share the 3 that had the biggest impact on my life. Challenge number 1, make 3 calls. Begin before you're ready. Most people wait for perfect clarity before starting anything. Perfect plan, perfect product, perfect conditions. This is autopilot brain talking. It wants familiar, safe, predictable. Better approach? Make 3 phone calls about your idea today, not friends or family. 3 people who could actually advance the idea or tell you why it won't work. Say you're thinking about offering workshops on a topic you know well. Call a venue owner who might suggest better locations. Call someone at a company that could use the training. They might want to bring their whole team. Call someone with complementary skills who might want to partner. Before those calls, it's just an idea. After 45 minutes of conversations, you might have a venue, confirmed interest, and a collaborator. The thing you'd been planning for months suddenly has momentum. You don't need to know everything. You need to start conversations and let the path reveal itself. Challenge number 2, get your reptile brain a bank account. This one sounds weird until you try it. Open a separate bank account. Put 10% of everything you earn into it. Never touch it. Not for business investments, not for emergencies, not for good opportunities. Just let it grow. Why? Because your reptile brain makes terrible decisions when it's scared about survival. It gravitates toward get-rich-quick schemes, passive income fantasies, and playing it so safe you never actually move forward. Within 6 months, that account might have enough to cover 2 or 3 months of expenses. The psychological shift is profound. You start making decisions based on potential, not fear. You can turn down soul-crushing opportunities because you're not desperate. Challenge number 3. Stop spending time with people who bring you down. This is harsh but necessary. You become like the people you spend time with. Their ideas become your ideas. Their limitations become your ceiling. Look at your top 5 closest contacts. Are they building something, creating, taking risks? Or are they complaining about bosses, waiting for retirement, stuck in patterns they claim to hate but never change. I had to distance myself from several colleagues when I started taking business seriously. Not because they were bad people, because they were playing small and pulling me into their orbit. Every lunch became a litany of complaints. Unfair tenure decisions, incompetent administrators, ungrateful students, insufficient funding. These weren't constructive problem-solving sessions. They were validation circles for staying stuck. Now I actively seek out people who are doing things, not just talking about it, actually building, creating, launching. The quality of my decisions improved dramatically. Here's what you need to understand about the AI era we're entering. AI is commoditizing functional expertise. If your value is being functional, you're obsolete. There are 3 shifts that separate winners from losers. First, vitality versus functionality. Functionality is performing tasks efficiently. AI does this better than you. Vitality is being irreplaceable life force, bringing energy, creativity, spark nobody else brings. I can't replicate this. Second, context versus content. AI has all the content, every book, article, research paper. What it lacks? Context, purpose, direction. Your job isn't knowing things, it's knowing what to do with things. Third, creating versus consuming. AI makes you consume more through social media algorithms or create more through production tools. The wedge forming, creators using AI to build empires versus consumers trapped in dopamine loops. Which side are you on? And here's something Priestley emphasizes that really resonated with me. We're entering what he calls the age of hearts. Machines beat us at dexterity. Computers beat us at thinking. But humans still dominate caring. Winning businesses don't ask how do we beat the competition. They ask how do we make people love working with us, shopping with us, talking about us. Apple doesn't make the best computers, but you love the experience. Patagonia doesn't make the cheapest gear, but customers align with their mission. Lead with heart. Love your customers, know them, serve them, surprise them, love your craft, obsess over quality, never settle, love your team, create culture people don't want to leave, love your mission, solve problems that matter. Do this and you won't need to mock it. You'll have a movement. So let me bring this home. I started this episode talking about my midlife crisis. PhD, corporate job, savings account, secretly miserable. Here's what changed. I stopped waiting for permission. I stopped following safe advice designed for a world that no longer exists. I'm not saying quit your job tomorrow. I'm saying start small, test ideas, build your team, create assets, make 3 phone calls. The entrepreneur revolution isn't coming. It's here. You don't need to be brilliant. You need to be resourceful. You don't need perfect conditions. You need to start before you're ready. You don't need everyone's approval. You need a small group who can't live without you. Stop trading time for money in a system rigged against you. Your entrepreneur brain is ready. The only question is, will you let it lead? For the full breakdown of all 10 challenges, the CAOS framework for validating business ideas, and the complete roadmap for building a global small business, head over to bullishbooks.com. I've got the full article there with all the details we couldn't cover in this episode. Until next time, this is Lei reminding you that your parents meant well, but their playbook is obsolete. Time to write your own.